In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how a subscriber built a $6,000 a month faceless YouTube channel in literally 2 months, as we can see right here. Now, here's the post from the student in our school community. As we can see here, 5,000 euros in a single month. And if we look here, we can see that this student only joined us on the 4th of June. So around about 2 months it took him to hit his first $6,000 a month. All right. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you guys everything from picking the niche to choosing the account or creating the account to choosing the video topics to, creating the videos with AI and freelancers to, uploading the videos to YouTube to making money, every single little thing. So it is going to be a very in-detailed video. And if your attention span is this small, just click off this video because this video is not for you. This video is for people who are serious about building faceless YouTube channels. All right. After this video, you'll know everything you need to know to be able to start your first channel. Okay. Now, for the people who don't know who I am, I'm Stefan, 24 years old, currently doing between $30,000 and $40,000 a month and constantly building new channels, as we can see right here. And then I've posted 2 videos that made me $42,000. Here's one video made me $30,000. This one here, $12,000. And then I've scaled the channel from $0 to $48,000 in just 30 days. As we can see here, there's a video on this channel as well, a case study on this channel. And then I've helped hundreds of other people do the exact same thing. For example, here Martins, who have helped to scale up to $31,000 in a single month. Here this student, $12,000 in a single month. Here this one, $24,000 in a single month. Here Matthew, 2 channels monetized in just 7 weeks of working with me. Now, if you're looking for the exact same results, check out the first link in the video description, book a call with us, and let's have a look if it makes sense to work one-on-one together. Now, if we work one-on-one together, you might also get your first channel monetized in less than the first month with 3,000 subscribers. All right, just saying, but you have to put in the work. Now, the first thing when it comes to actually starting your faceless YouTube channel is, niche research. And I always say the work you put into before you even start your channel is going to determine if your channel wins or if your channel fails. Okay, too many people actually go into random health channels or motivation niches or luxury or even finance just because they've heard that it has a pretty decent RPM. Okay, that's what most people do. And I always say, like, never ever go into niches you can just like this think of. Okay, because in most cases, everyone can think of those niches and those niches are fully saturated. So don't make the same mistake and randomly jump into a random niche. Okay. When you're doing niche research, I want you to adapt this mindset. So you have to have the mindset of niches are just opportunities. I don't want you to overthink this process and try to find the perfect niche. It will take time to find a good niche. And this is where consistency comes in. That's why I need you to do like 1 to 2 hours of niche research every single day, especially if you don't run a channel yet, because that is only where you will find good niches. All right, doing the research. Now give it time and do not rush it and treat it like a business, not a random YouTube channel. All right. We don't want to just jump on the first best niche we find. We have to jump into niches where we would say, like, okay, if this business costed $1 million, I would be confident in investing $1 million in that business. That's how we kind of should look at niches. All right. And researching niches. So do not rush the process. All right. Now, when it comes to niche research or to YouTube, this is probably the most important part when it comes to YouTube automation, is basically seeing YouTube as a marketplace. YouTube is essentially a marketplace of videos. You can tell me whatever you want. YouTube is a marketplace of videos. All right. Now, and just like any other market, YouTube has supply and it has demand. Now, what does that actually mean? Demand is what the audience wants to watch, and supply is how much content is there already. And we're trying to find a gap between these two that we can actually fill, where, there's a lot of demand but no supply, and we want to fill that. But that's where we actually find a good niche and blow a channel up. And I'll show you guys more in a second. Now, what normal YouTubers do, and this was me for years, I was for years running not faceless, but a personal brand before I actually pivoted to faceless channels. I was always running faceless channels, right? From like age 12 to 18, all right? I've actually built a personal brand with over 100,000 subscribers. Now, what I can tell you is it took me 6 years to build that, all right? So it takes years to build personal brands. And, personal brand YouTubers spend years building a connection with their audience, and it takes a lot of time and hard work to build demand around them. That's the biggest thing. When you run a personal brand, you have to build demand around you. People have to, want to see you. Okay. Now, luckily with YouTube automation, we skip this whole process. Instead, what we do is we look for a topic or a niche that has a lot of demand but no supply. All right. Now, This is super important, and this is what makes YouTube automation like way easier than building personal brands. Okay. Now, when it comes to niche research, there's specific criteria we always look for. And number one is they are under 5 smaller channels creating content in that niche that are constantly getting more views than they have subscribers. This means there's high demand and low supply. There are no channels with over 100,000 subscribers. There are no smaller channels failing. Many people skip this step. Yeah, make sure that they're not a bunch of small channels failing. The niche is not older than 6 months. I can create better content than my competitors. This can also be longer content. We'll get to this in a second. And then, am I actually interested in this niche? Not a must, as long as you build a team that has interest in the niche. Is the niche monetizable? Very important, otherwise you're not going to make any money. And then huge bonus if you can post long videos. Now, very important is that this does not need to be 1,000% with all niches you find. All right, let me show you. So this year was 1,000% on point with the niche research criteria, but it is very rare that you find a niche that is perfect. Like for example here. All right. So if you find something good, jump into it. All right. Now, tools I'd recommend you for doing niche research is ElevenLabs. It's 13 euros a month. And then vidIQ, the free plan, is more than enough. I'll link both of them in the video description. Are they 100% needed? No. Are they very useful? Yes. Okay. So if you're going to make your life, if you want to make your life easier, use these tools. Now, we're going to use a dummy account for doing niche research. This is basically a YouTube account that we only use for niche research. Okay. This, like the YouTube homepage, actually changed for our advantage, and YouTube got extremely good at predicting what we want to watch. And we can use this to our advantage to actually train the YouTube algorithm to only show us faceless niches on our YouTube home tab. Now, instead of me explaining all of that process, let me show you how you can actually set it up. Because once you have a dummy account set up, you can no joke find endless niches with it. If we look at, just as an example, this account here, this here is my dummy account. We can see I'm just logged into a random YouTube account, which I actually called niche research account. And if we scroll down here, we can mainly see like a bunch of different faceless channels. All right. And let me quickly have a look. So if we look at this one, yesterday's brands, 4,000 subscribers, you know, I haven't subscribed to this channel yet, so I don't know this channel. And YouTube pushed it to my homepage. And let me show you how you can actually build up an account exactly like that. So what you do is you open up and you log into a brand new YouTube account like we have here. Then it will look exactly like this. All right. What we do then is we actually look up something, the biggest house. So anything you are interested in, this can literally be anything. Okay. If you specifically want to make car content, you only look up car content. All right. For me, I literally don't care as long as it can make money. Now, once we see the videos faceless, we actually click on it, and then we subscribe to these channels. We like the videos, and we keep on clicking here on the sidebar on faceless videos. Very important is that we only click on faceless videos, because if we start clicking on personal brands, YouTube is going to show us personal brands on our homepage as well. So we again want to show YouTube that we really, really love faceless videos and that we only want to see faceless videos on our YouTube home tab. All right. So you have to do this for quite a while. I'm just not going to do it for too long now. Don't want to stretch the video into a crazy length. But after you've done this, we actually go back to our YouTube homepage. And here you can already see faceless video, faceless. We can already see like a bunch of faceless channels on our YouTube homepage, right? Let's have a look. Even a smaller channel on our YouTube homepage, right? Now, where I want you to use ElevenLabs and vidIQ is with vidIQ, you can very quickly see like here, how many views is this channel getting in the last 7 days? So we can see 140,000. Then with ElevenLabs, we can actually see if the channel is monetized, as we can see right here. Channel is monetized. And then what we can also see with it is we can see the analytics, right? We can see how many people, not how many people, but what's the RPM of the channel actually, all right? This is a little bit off. It's not 100% accurate, but it gives us a very good direction of what the RPM is, okay? Because it's always important for you guys to actually calculate like, hey, this channel is doing so many views a month. The RPM is this. Can I actually make enough money with this channel for this to be profitable? Very important, okay? Now, this is kind of how we use the dummy account. So we go back to our homepage, all right? And then we just start scrolling on our YouTube homepage and looking for small channels that get a lot of views, right? That's what we're going to look for here. 18,000 subscribers, 300,000 views, 8,000 subscribers, 100,000 views, 5,000 subscribers, 70,000 views. And this is then what we start looking for on our YouTube homepage, okay? Now, I always like to not to like 100% just copy and paste channels. Not what I would recommend. So what I recommend you guys to do is creating new niches using the niche transfer method. So instead of blindly copying something everyone else is doing, we use the niche transfer method to literally 1000x our results. Now, this is essentially taking a proven concept or proven concepts and moving them to different markets on YouTube. Now, this can be anything: the title, the thumbnail style, the video style, anything. All right. If you look at this channel here, just as an example, Medieval Times Discovered. This channel started posting videos on, medieval times, how medieval people lived. And it went very, very good for them. And what happened is this channel popped up, Stone Age, right? So instead of medieval people, they focused on Stone Age people. I don't know how is it called? I don't know. But yeah, then what happened is this channel popped up pirates. This one popped up homeless people, right? And they all do a very similar style of content. But what is very important is you will always need something that is working and mix two things together that are proven to work. Okay, if you mix two things together that are already working, create something new that is working as well. All right, so now everyone should be able to pick a niche. Now we're actually going to get into setting up your YouTube channel. This is something many people still do wrong. Yeah, there are different kind of YouTube accounts. We have brand new accounts, we have aged accounts, personal accounts, and pre-monetized accounts. What account would I recommend? Guys, all these here are completely good. All right. The personal accounts are kind of the best of the best. These are just, accounts that you personally use to watch YouTube. Okay. Then we have pre-monetized. I would not recommend pre-monetized channels except for trends. Otherwise, do not use a pre-monetized channel. Do not even buy them. All right. Please. Okay. Now, for aged accounts, account age does not matter too much. All right. So accounts from 2006 aren't any stronger than newer accounts. Anything before 2025 works about the same. So don't overpay for aged just because of the year. All right. Then we actually want to protect our channel from day one. So we use different email addresses for every single YouTube account. We use different AdSense accounts. So we can do that with LLCs. I see a few of you guys want a video on this. I'll do a video on that. Then we want to use different browsers and different Chrome profiles, all right? And no, you do not need any proxies, anti-detect, or so on. It's largely a myth for trust purposes, all right? Now we want to actually warm up our accounts, and we warm up our accounts to increase our trust score. Now, you have to keep in mind, so trust score is basically how much does the platform actually trust our channel. Now, the trust score isn't magically going to go up just because you warm up your account. But I always say we just want to improve our chances of the account actually being super, super good. Now, what accounts need to be warmed up? So we need to warm up new accounts and aged accounts, okay? Now, how do we warm these accounts up? We use it as a normal user, watch 1 to 2 hours of content per day, subscribe, comment, and like to different YouTube videos. Do not act like a bot, please. And then we do this for 1 week plus to lower the risk of a low trust score. Now, quick note, always have 1 to 2 warmed up channels ready to go, because once we pick a niche, right, we need to move very quickly into the niches. Don't want to take forever. So how do we actually test if an account is good? We literally go ahead and we record a 3 to 4 minute phone video. So just a walk, a drive, a room tour, whatever, like the content really doesn't matter. We log into the account and upload that video. We check the impressions 24 hours later. And if it has like 0 to 50 impressions, the account is dead. If it has 200 to 400 impressions, usable, good enough, but not the best, and 1,000 plus impressions, high trust, ready to post your content. All right. So now we know how to set up an account. Super easy. Don't overcomplicate it. And let's get that account set up right after this video. All right. Then the perfect video topic. So you can have the perfect niche, but if your video topics suck, your views are absolutely going to suck. All right. So this year was a massive niche, beginning of the year. And, everyone started doing this. This worked really, really well. And obviously people went ahead and they copied videos one-on-one. All right. This is a one-on-one copy of this exact video here. And that's why this video got 200 views. Okay. So do not do that, because there is supply and demand in video topics. So supply and demand is not just important in your niche, but also in the video topics you choose. Now, how do you find demand? We look for recent outlier videos on competitor channels, look for recent trending formats, and very important is we do not copy the most popular videos from competitors. This is what everyone does, and your videos will fail. That's exactly what we see right here as well. This video failed because they copied this channel's most popular video one-on-one. That is what everyone does, right? All right. Where were we? Okay, yeah. Now, how do we actually find supply? We use our YouTube search bar and look for how many people created the exact same video. So what you'll do is, let's say, for example, you want to create this video here. Here's another crazy channel on our homepage. So here, 900 subscribers, 60 videos. Then we literally 900 subscribers, 60,000 views. So what we do is, let's say, for example, we want to do a similar video to this. We copy this title, look that up. We have a look at like, hey, how many people have created the exact same video? We go through here and then we know, hey, does it still make sense or not? All right. If it's been done more than 3 times and you don't have a different angle to that specific video, I need you to look for a different topic. All right. Because YouTube will always show the videos to the hardcore fans of that niche first, and if they have already seen that video multiple times, they do not have a single reason for clicking on your video except if it follows a different angle. Now, how does a perfect video topic look like? Perfect topic actually resonates with your audience, so ask yourself, do they even want to watch this? Some topics sound super interesting but are super boring, so make sure your topic is not boring. Your topic has to be posted on time, especially if it's a trend. I see way too many people being too late with this, okay? You have to be fast. If you go into trends, you have to be fast. Then repeat what has done well in the past. I'll tell you guys more on this. Then leverage negativity because humans respond better to negative things. Always the case, all right? So here, the topic transfer method. This is by far the most powerful way to choose video topics. What you essentially do is you find winning video topics in other niches and move them over to your niche. This can work insanely well if this is done correctly. Now, here are some examples. Here we can see from, the medieval space to over to the Stone Age, and then also here from cats to dogs. Both of these videos, huge outliers, all right? Now, this is exactly what we did with Scott, who went from literally getting 50 to 100 views a video to almost giving up on his channel to $200 days within like a week. I have the videos on our YouTube channel as well, right? Now, when it comes to actually doubling down on what works, this is like the most insane thing that we did with Andre, all right? We actually took Andre from basically zero to $30,000 a month in 4 months simply by finding something that works and doing that thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, doubling down on what works is the craziest thing and the most underrated thing when it comes to YouTube automation. Okay, now, so make sure to do that, by the way, like 100% make sure to double down on whatever works. So if you have a channel and something is working already, do more of that, all right? Now, by the way, if you want my help with that, check out the first link in the video description, book your call with us, and let's have a look if it makes sense to work together, okay? Then we have content creation. So you have 3 different options for content creation. Now, content teams are super important, and I need you to build it out ASAP, okay? Because once we have a niche, we need to move fast. That's why we actually give our students our team. All right. So we hire teams for our students to make sure that they can post videos very quickly. Now you have 3 options for approaching content creation. Either do it yourself, you can do the hybrid method, or you can fully outsource it. All right. Now, if you do it yourself, you have basically no cost, 100% profit, you learn new skills, and you have full control over the channel or the videos. The disadvantages are this is not very scalable, extremely time consuming. Learning takes a bunch of time, and without you, you don't make any money. Okay. The hybrid method, where you do some and freelancers do some, the advantages are it's low cost. You do what you enjoy. You still have a bunch of control over the channel. The disadvantages are it's only partially scalable, very time consuming, or still time consuming. Some capital is required, and without you, you don't really make any money. Okay. Now, if you fully outsource, this is actually where you need like around about $300 to $500 a month. Okay. The advantages are it's not time consuming at all because the freelancers do all the heavy lifting. Everything is like, it's extremely scalable, still over 80% profit margin. You get time freedom, you work with experienced freelancers, and without you, there's still an income, all right? Now, disadvantages is this requires some initial capital, all right? Now, where do you hire these people? So for thumbnail designer on X, Fiverr, Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, or even AI, you can even use AI to create the thumbnails for you. Like AI is super good with that, all right? Then for the scriptwriter on Upwork, YT Jobs, onlinejobs.ph, or even AI. Again, speed is key, so that's why we mainly use AI to write our scripts. Same for voiceover artist Fiverr or ElevenLabs, which is an AI voiceover creator. We use ElevenLabs. Then for video editor, Upwork, YT Jobs, X, or onlinejobs.ph. I recommend Upwork. All right, that's kind of where you're going to find the best people. Then channel manager, you do not need this. Most people do not need this. You need this only later on once you run more than like 3-4 channels. Okay. Now you can firstly look in your friend group. You can look on Upwork, on YT Jobs. You can look between your freelancers. This is my favorite way, on onlinejobs.ph. But very important is if you hire a what's it called? A channel manager, needs to be someone that is accountable. Okay. Now, where do you pay them? I always recommend you guys to ask the freelancers, like, hey, what payment methods do you use? Because it's very different for everyone, okay? Now, the most common payment methods are bank transfer, Wise, PayPal, or Remitly, okay? Now, once we have that done and we have the first videos, I follow this exact process with every single niche I get into to make sure that I avoid spending money on videos that will never work. So first thing we do is we do niche research, all right? Then we need to choose an video account. So you guys, not a video account, a YouTube account. What kind of account are we going to use? That is completely up to you. I would though not recommend pre-monetized accounts, okay? Then we need 15 video topics, all right? You guys know how to pick video topics by now. And then we actually go ahead and we create we try to create the videos as cheap as possible just to get some kind of proof of concept. So for this script, we're going to use any kind of AI. You can use ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you want to use. For the voiceovers, we're going to use ElevenLabs. For the video editor, we're going to use a freelancer. So aim for like $15. Doesn't need to be the best freelancer. Okay. Then for the thumbnail, we're going to use a freelancer or do it yourself or AI. All right. So we want to keep our video creation costs, especially in the beginning when we're testing the niche, as low as just possible. Okay. Now, once that is done, it's very important that your video length is 1.5 times longer than your competitor videos. The reasons for that is very simple. So, man, something is here. I think I'm getting sick. I don't know. But that doesn't stop us, all right? So we want our videos to be 1.5 times longer than our competitive videos. Very simple, because then we have a competitive advantage over them. YouTube is always going to push the video that keeps the viewer on YouTube for the longest period of time. Now, when it comes to your thumbnail and your title, always work with proven to work concepts, okay? So whatever you do as your thumbnail and your title, this has to be something that has worked before. All right, so make sure to do your research into that. Once that is done, we actually get into the posting phase. Okay, so we post, skip, post, skip, post, post, skip, post. All right, now what happens here is very simple. So for most people or for most niches that will work, it will look like this. So you won't get any views and then you start getting views. All right, I need you to post all of these 15 videos. Even if you're not getting any views, just post all of these videos. Now, once you post all of the videos and you actually started getting views, that is the only time where you are going to continue to post videos. If this does not happen, all right, and it flatlines after 15 videos, usually that's a sign that something is not right? That could be your niche, your video topics, your packaging, your video length, or you have a bad channel. Could be one of these. Now, in case of the channel failing, I actually don't want you to give up and never try it again. I need you to go back to niche research and, start the process over again, okay? You only fail once you quit. If you don't quit, we just learn, all right? And learning is very important because you have to go back and try to understand why did this channel fail to then learn what to actually do better. Everyone has to learn a few things before their channel can actually work. Very simple, all right? Now we probably come to the most to everyone's favorite part, how to actually make money from YouTube. Now, the easiest way to monetize your YouTube videos is where YouTube pays you directly through the YouTube partnership program. At this current stage, it's still 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. That is actually going up to 8,000 hours. And guys, please, it is really not the end of the world. Like if you're planning to only get 4,000 watch hours in a whole year, you're planning to make like $100 a year. So set your goals straight. All right. Like watch time is the easiest thing ever to get. Okay. subscribers always take longer than watch time. So watch time is easy. All right. Now I know that, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time sound a lot, but on average, the people we work with get to this point in 3 to 6 weeks. And we had someone doing it again yesterday, as we can see right here. So we just crossed the magic number of 1,000 subscribers. Not only them, a bunch of people here, channel taking off 1,000 subscribers in 9 days. First month, first channel monetized, here monetized, then here another one monetized, here second channel monetized. Just goes on and on and on like that. Monetized, monetized, monetized. Guys, if you are looking for the exact same kind of help as all of these people, then check out the first link in the video description. Book your call. Let's have a look if it makes sense to work together. All right. Now, how much money can you actually earn on YouTube? So we have a CPM, just cost per 1,000 views, how much advertisers pay for every 1,000 views or impressions on their ad, and then RPM, so that's revenue per 1,000 views, how much you earn per every 1,000 views. So if you have a $5 RPM, you make $5 per 1,000 views. For 1 million views, you get paid $5,000, all right? Now, just do the math yourself. If you want to make 10K a month, you need 2 million views. All right, 2 million views on something people are already interested in. So ask yourself, how difficult is that actually? Obviously, we have to find something that is untapped, that people are actually interested in, but that's also not the most difficult thing. Okay, so ask yourself, how difficult is this? All right, now how do we actually increase our RPM? So we turn on alcohol and gambling ads. We create videos longer than 15 minutes and we place ads every 10 seconds using ElevenLabs. So yeah, guys, I hope everything is clear. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'll answer literally every single comment. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.